We're gonna dine with kings. We'll have the finest things. Carve our names in stone. We'll never die unknown.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Upstroke podcast channel. What a week. What a year. What a 2 years. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're one of the ones that have subscribed since the film was released, this is what we do about once a week. What to once every 2 weeks, just depending on my schedule. We have a lot of things going on. So since I mentioned the film, thank you everybody. First off, for the ones who supported me and helped me get this thing completed and off the ground. Thank you to everybody that bought a copy of it. Very, very grateful. Thank you to the facilities that had the screenings and everybody that attended those. It was a very heartwarming experience for me, and I greatly appreciate you. I got one message that really touched my heart, so I'm just going to read it to you. But I got to throw the old man spectacles on. Great job, my friend. I think hospitals should show this to every stroke survivor, because I know I would have really benefited from seeing it right after my stroke. I really enjoyed the impact on family and friends. I have no doubt that someone somewhere in need is going to see it and is going to make a huge difference in their lives. And that is all we can hope for. Bravo, Mark. So thank you very much for sending that, Mark. And for all the comments, emails, texts. You guys are amazing. Thank you. And thanks for sharing it. Feel free. Send it to anybody that you think it could help, could inspire and motivate. We have a life to rebuild. Some of this is going to be a little repetitive for those of you who are on the newsletter list. And if you want to be on the newsletter list, you can shoot me an email at upstrokepodcast@gmail.com or go to our website and you can sign up there, which Lori just did. Welcome, Lori. Guess I should send out a newsletter again soon. We'll get to that this Sunday. Today's Friday, July 31st. Trent Peterson got a hold of me a couple weeks ago and asked me if I was open to speaking with a woman whose husband has had a stroke and he has locked-in syndrome. If you've seen the video that I did on that, man oh man, things definitely could be worse. But in their case, they could definitely be better. We always do this, don't we? They could be worse, they could be better. So anyway, the Erickson family, Ginger and her family, kids, are they're in tough ways right now. So I just wanted to do a shout out to them, let them know that we're praying for you, and we're praying for her husband, Alan, that they start figuring some things out. The health system in Alaska doesn't sound like they've been overly ambitious to help Alan, or maybe they don't have the means, I don't know. I don't know the full story on that, but the Erickson family is trying to raise some money. So I'm going to throw their GoFundMe link in the description. If you're in a position there where you could help out, this family could definitely use it. I was on the Bill Gassiama's show, which is called Recovery After Stroke. Most of you have probably seen Bill. I've mentioned him in this podcast several times. He runs a great program there. Bill's kind of the OG of our group. He's been doing this for a long time. I think I was episode 414. That's diligence, man. Bill's a great guy from Australia, mate. So we had a great conversation. We got into my background, my story. As soon as he had actually seen the documentary. I shared it with him first before I launched it on YouTube. So he was definitely interested in talking about the motorcycle club, which I did a pretty good job skirting around any of the sensitivities there. out of both respect for the club and myself. So anyway, I'll throw a link to the Bill interview in the description as well. It's going to be a busy description, and there's going to be a busy show today. So hang on tight. We're going to cover a lot of ground here. We are firing up the Benjilynn documentary again, and I'm just sending out emails to try and build some more funding. The GoFundMe for everyone that's donated to that. Thank you again. Man, none of this stuff would be happening without everybody here. So we greatly appreciate you and your encouragement. We are scheduling the next interviews over the next couple weeks. And it's going to be a busy couple weeks because we have the Tell Us podcast that we're still doing. I have 3 interviews left to do on that, and those are all booked. Most of it's done. The editing's almost done for all the ones that we've done already, and they're looking pretty good. This has been a fun project for us. We have a couple of one-off projects. I made an offer to Ginger Erickson that we could do a short documentary that we could share with news outlets to help raise funds for Alan and for his recovery. I guess there's a program in Seattle that is open to accepting Alan there. So that's a bit of a travel for them. So lots of costs. Everything comes down to money, right? Someone asked me if I'd tried this new procedure the other day through the one of the messages, and I said nope, I haven't, can't afford it. So that's a lot of our cases right now. So this is where we get into our next steps here. I've shared with you all what we're going to do with the monster house that we have, and firm decision, selling the house. And in doing that, what's next? So then my brain starts going, the dreamer in me starts thinking, after I go through a little bit of a roller coaster when these decisions come up. So we want to get some of the interviews filmed here in the house before we pack it up and move somewhere. So that's going to be fun. Looking forward to that. We have another project we're doing for one of our friends who owns a flower shop here in town. And what I want to do is I want to do these shorter documentaries, like 6 minutes, 8 minutes long. I guess 12 would be on the long side to promote their business, but not quite an in-your-face advertisement, more about the person and their story and their life. So I think that would be far more interesting than what you'd post on, say, Facebook. Just a little different angle. And we got these ideas from a couple of different videos that we watched and just were so intrigued. And they're done in a documentary style, so good filming, good cameras are used, a little bit of interview, but mostly it shows a story with some dialogue. So in going through the decision making on what we do with the house, the biggest question is always, well, then what? So we started bouncing ideas around, and we started over a year ago doing that. And I just started a spreadsheet on all these ideas, and we just found ourselves continuing going back to the one idea. And that one idea is, drum roll please, sell the house and buy a motorhome. Move into the motorhome, which would give us some flexibility with the weather, especially in the winter. If you're from Canada, you know British Columbia very well. If you're not from Canada, it's kind of the most beautiful province in Canada as far as climate goes. So beautiful summers, but even better, there's some areas in British Columbia that have very little snow and fairly mild temperatures in the winter. And one of those towns, there's a couple of them, the area runs kind of from a town called Penticton down to Oliver and Osoyoos, very close to the US border. And wouldn't that be cool? So then I start getting excited, right? Start shopping for motorhomes, trying to figure out and calculate how much will we have left out of this house. It's never enough, let me tell you, especially when we're looking at a motorhome big enough to live in. Now, fortunately, my wife and I have lived in some pretty cramped spaces while we were traveling, hotel rooms and Airbnbs, things like that. So we do know how to do it. And we get along way better now than we did back then. So it should be way easier. So anyway, if you haven't heard of us talking about this yet, surprise! I don't know if that's considered homeless or not. I don't think so because the motorhome's a home, right? A motor what? Exactly. So that kind of, we would do winters in southern British Columbia and summers back here in Alberta. Because summers here are just gorgeous, especially up north here. Beautiful. And our kids are down south in Calgary. So we would probably split our summers half and half between down south and around Calgary area and then up north here. Up north here for hunting season. We'll get our winter supply of meat before we head to British Columbia. Anyhow, just some ideas, but we're getting pretty excited about it. So kind of the risk in putting this stuff out there, it's similar to when I was a smoker. And I would tell people, no, I'm quitting smoking today. Bad idea. Because when it doesn't happen, you get asked 20 times, how's the quitting smoking going? Urgh. Well, buy your motorhome yet? No. A few things we have to do first. Like selling the house is going to be a big deal, big job. We've rented a storage unit. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Well, second thing, right now we're selling stuff. And we're just basing that decision on if it's going to fit in the motorhome or not. So we have kind of plan A, plan B. Motorhome is plan A. Plan B is furnishing an apartment. So we're going to keep a few extra things that are not motorhome related in order for that to happen. Because we just don't know. Like, we don't know how long this is going to last for. It seems it seems dreamish, right? Pie in the sky. Like, you're what? Yeah. So we've pulled off the last couple months financially. We've redone our budget. We've gone through, refined everything. We've cut costs for the 10th or 12th time now. One thing that was really good is my cell phone bill has been just brutal. Benjilyn's on a fairly fixed plan. Mine's more variable. And I made a phone call to my brother the other day. He's down in Florida. And it cost me $15 and just enraged me. So right away I started researching and I found this new cell phone company up here in Canada. So if you're Canadian, let me share this with you. So it's $50 for, I think it was 1,000 gigs. And it's 5G. And it's called Public Mobile. And so far, I switched over that day. It didn't take very long. It was easy to do. They use an eSIM card, they call it. So it was just easy. The whole thing was done in 20 minutes. They canceled my plan with Bell, who had been hosing me. Like, I started sharing my bills on this with Benjilynn. She's like, you pay what? My last one is like $300. Now that's for 2 months. But still, 2 months, that's $150 a month. No way. So now we cut that by, 75-80%? $50 a month. There's a friend code on it as well if you do want. I don't know if you get a free month or what that's all about, but I'll post it here. BGUMN8. Give it a go if you're looking at reducing your cell phone bill. I'm not meant to be doing an advertisement for public mobile either. But it's just one of the decisions that we made, and man, it's been working awesome. I haven't even noticed. It runs on the TELUS communication system. So yeah, it works as good as any TELUS, which in some areas is not that great. Bell is better rural, and TELUS is really good when you're close to the cities. Oh yeah, we celebrated our 35th wedding anniversary this week. If you saw me on Facebook, you saw the post there, and thank you everybody for all the congrats. That is a congrats. Who would have thought? What a patient woman. Boy, oh boy, I'm a lucky man. I don't know how she's stuck it out with me. I'm definitely not easy to be married to. And now it's even worse. But she just keeps loving me. And I love her. So thank you, Benjilynn. Amazing. So we released the movie on YouTube, and it's going pretty good. You know, whenever I make these decisions to do these things, I kind of prepare myself for best case and worst case. Usually comes in the middle. This one, best case is like Amazon's going to be phoning anytime. Prime and Netflix. Yeah, that didn't happen. Worst case scenario is like 0 views. That wasn't the case. It's actually doing okay, so it's in the middle. Actually a little lower than the middle, but that's fine. This is going to be a slow burn. I think this film will just gain steam with time. So I'm totally okay with that, especially with everything we have going on in our lives right now. But one more time, thanks for everybody's support. Share it. Share it with anyone you think it could help. I did get 1 thumbs down on it, and I'm always like, I wonder who that was. And I have a pretty good idea. It's one of a couple of people that, they're haters, right? And I do have some of those in my life, especially from my previous life. One in particular. But the funny thing is that it's popping up on his YouTube. So a little bit of poetic justice. Hope it pops up 10 times a day. What a guy. I wish him all the best. I don't wish anybody any ill will, especially after going through what I've gone through. When I say that I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, which is kind of crazy. But hey, you got to forgive people and dump that burden and move on. And let the haters carry the burden, right? Haters will hate. That's what they do. And what do haters hate? Happy people. So that's my job. My job is to be happy and make good decisions, have a great marriage, an amazing relationship with my children and my grandchildren, who we had here all week. So good. Our granddaughter's here for a couple weeks now, Ivory Lynn. And she was in the film. You saw her. She's the one that runs right up to the camera. Hoo-hoo! When I stand up for the first time. Fantastic. Wanted to talk a little bit about prayer. I see a bunch of posts on Facebook from the Facebook stroke community pages about people that either believe in the power of prayer or just absolutely do not. And I guess it's, if you have seen my previous videos on my spirituality, especially with Trent Peterson and Oral Ogilvy. I'll throw a link to that one in there as well in the description. Going to be a lot of links today, I warned you. And just where my brain is at on it, I definitely pray. And it gives me comfort, I think, is the biggest thing. It's not like God answers all my prayers, and far from it, actually. And some things I pray for, maybe they're not the best thing for me. But I do believe in God, and I believe in His power and His knowledge and wisdom to know what's best for me. So there's the Serenity Prayer I'm going to read to you. So throw on the spectacles here again. I'm sure you've all heard it, especially if you've ever been in any of the 12-step programs. It's a major part of that. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as the pathway to peace, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life, and supremely happy with Him forever in the next. Amen. Wow, it's so true. Like, we spend so much time stressing over things that we just have no control over. And praying for those things definitely helps us. But at the same time, I think for myself, you need to have boundaries with it. Like, a lot of people will pray, and to me it's like wishing, rubbing the lamp with the genie. And I try not to do that. Most of my prayers, I try to be grateful and thankful for the great things that have happened in my life and continue to happen in my life, which I am very grateful. Like I said, I wouldn't wish a stroke on anybody, but that's kind of hard to think about it this way, but it may have been the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm a much nicer person, and I'm so grateful for all the small things in life now, and I've been humbled. So thank you, God. If you do like the content, please hit that thumbs up and don't hesitate subscribing. We do one of these about every 2 weeks now, and I'll continue doing these as we go forward. One thing nice about the motorhome is I'll be doing these from there as well. So I'm going to take you on this journey with me. We're going to have some fun. God bless. Have a great day.
We'll have the finest things, carve our names in stone. We'll never die, I know.